Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing well. Our topic today is classroom games. We will talk about the value of games, the guidelines for choosing and using games in the language classroom, how to deal with competitive classes, how to keep score, and game ideas. Let's start with the value of games. Playing games is a natural way of learning. Think of how many youngsters have learned to count while skipping rope, playing hopscotch, or reading dice. Many youngsters learn to count money and make change while playing Monopoly. Many board games offer both stimulation and opportunities for reading. If a child wishes to play, he has to figure out the printed instructions such as go back 3 spaces or take an extra turn. Games in the classroom can be used for 2 purposes. The first is to give you a more comfortable relationship with your students, to break the ice, to help you to get to know them, or to relieve tension after a tough lesson. A little fun at the end of a class leaves the students with a good feeling for returning next time. The other purpose of games in teaching is to reinforce a particular step of learning. When played in a relaxed way, games offer great opportunities for necessary repetition without strain or boredom. Through games, learners practice and internalize vocabulary, grammar, and structures. Motivation is enhanced too by the play and the competition. An added benefit is that the learner's attention is on the message, not on the language. They acquire language unconsciously with their whole attention engaged by the activity in much the same way as they acquire their mother tongue. Using games in the classroom should help you practice and review new materials and patterns in an interesting way, helping you keep the students' attention. It also means when you teach the same lesson the 4th time that day, you still be able to muster some enthusiasm. According to Helen Anderson and Carol M. Pasilla in their book, Language and Children, the most successful games are very simple, requiring a minimum of explanation and rules. The most important requirement for a game is that it should be fun for the children to play. Before planning a game activity, the teacher should consider whether the children would enjoy the topic and the game in the real world outside of the classroom. Here are some additional guidelines for choosing and using games in the language classroom. Number 1, choose games or adjust them so that the children need to understand the language and expressing themselves in it. Number 2, provide maximum opportunity for students to participate. Number 3, organize and score the game so that most of the playing time can be spent communicating in the target game. Number 4, add an appealing element of suspense or competition, but structure the game to avoid intense individual competition that could carry over into bad feelings outside the classroom. How to incorporate suspense into language learning games? Here are 2 examples. A. Mystery word. Pick up one student to come and sit in the chair facing the class. Explain to class that the person in chair will call on them to give him or her one-word clue in order to guess the mystery word. For example, the mystery word is turtle. The one-word clue could be slow, crawl, shell. The student who gives the last clue that helps the person guess the mystery word is it. Next one is guess who. Put students into 2 teams. One team needs to choose a mystery person secretly. For example, Johnny. The other team needs to ask yes or no questions to figure out who the mystery person is. For example, is it a boy?
Yes, it's a boy.
Does he have black hair?
No, he doesn't.
Does he wear sunglasses?
Yes, he does.
Johnny! Next, let's keep talking about the guidelines for choosing and using games. Number 5, choose a game that is easy to play so that it will move quickly. Number 6, stop the game or activity when the class still wants more, rather than continuing it until interest begins to flag. Number 7, don't repeat successful activities the following day, even the students request them, so you can keep the game fresh and motivating in the future. Number 8, give names to the games played in class. Next, let's talk about how to deal with competitive classes. Some classes become very competitive, complaining about the smallest infraction of the rules and being very aggressive towards team members who cannot answer a question correctly. Okay, let's play a game. You are divided into 2 teams. You are number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Number 1, raise your hands. Number 2, raise your hands. Number 3, raise your hands. Good job. Okay, now, what letter is this? Number 2.
Hurry up. Hurry up.
It's uppercase.
Oh, you are so slow. Oh no, she's always slow. Teacher Valerie, I don't want to be on her team.
While an element of this is good, it helps keep order in the class and ensure there is some pressure for the slower students to learn. Too much of it would quickly spoil the atmosphere in the class. This situation can be diffused in a number of ways, namely 1. Give help points to the team that comes second, as long as they can answer the question or perform the action correctly in a reasonable amount of time. 2. Finish the game regularly, especially if one team is winning by a large margin. Simply finish the game. Count up the points and declare one team the winner. Then you can start a new game with the points at 0. 3. Change the team members so that there is an even amount of older and younger students in each team. If this causes an argument, you may try the following. Tear up a piece of paper into as many pieces as you have your students. Number the pieces of paper, numbered 1 to 20, for example. Point to one chair in the room and tell the students it is number 1. The next chair is number 2, etc. Throw the bits of paper into the air. Each student grabs one bit and sits in the chair corresponding with his or her number. This is a little bit silly, but it's a great way to end an argument. 4. Try to ensure that the students realize that it's only a game. When one side wins, raise your arms and cheer with them. Yay! You win the game! Good job! Let's clap hands! Okay. Equally, you can pretend to break down and cry with the team that loses. Oh, I'm sorry, you lose the game. I feel so sad. Again, silly, but always gets a few laughs. At the very least, make sure you acknowledge the effort of the losing team. Although you lose the game, you've tried very hard. You are a good team too. 5. When it's even, you can have both team members do paper, scissors, rock. Throw the dice or do the man tiger's gun to break the tie. 6. Stop the game at once if one of the team is unruly and did not agree with your decision to award the point to the other team. Then tell the class that the game will be discontinued if they don't stop. Show them that you are the boss in the classroom. 7. If the team members become unruly, erase their points. This will create a lot of pressure on each member because they are all very grade conscious. 8. If one of the team is always winning by a large margin because one or two members are quite good, move that student to the other team and change his or her seat every other day. This way, each team gets to taste success instead of defeat. That's all for today. Thank you for watching my video till the end. See you in my next video. Till then, bye.
Bye bye.